Hello, this is Myftiu, Account Supervisor at Marks Lane Public Relations and Digital Marketing. Today I'm going to talk about 3 key elements of a crisis communications plan. In the world of corporate communications, where reputations can be shattered with any single event, having a well thought out crisis communications plan is something you must have as a corporation or an organization. There are 3 key elements that must be present in your crisis communications plan for it to be truly effective. The first element that must be present in a crisis communications plan is defining all roles and responsibilities. You must identify a primary spokesperson and a secondary spokesperson, just in case they are not available, because at any point during a crisis, media or stakeholders may reach out and need a response, and a company or an organization must be ready to respond. The second element that is critical in a crisis communications plan is keeping it updated. So what does that mean? You don't just create a crisis plan and leave it to gather dust for years. At least once a year, you need to go into your plan, recognize changes in technology, changes in new scenarios that could evolve, and update your plan. Because if you don't touch it for years and a crisis develops, if it's an outdated plan, there's a chance that it's no longer going to be applicable. The third element, and possibly the most important, is digital and social elements need to be part of your crisis communication planning. First of all, social media is where many people get all of their news these days. So a traditional standby statement for media isn't going to cut it anymore. You have to have updates on the crisis situation on your social media and respond to comments or delete comments as needed. Marks Lane offers services of digital monitoring, tracking all coverage, so you can see who is writing about this crisis and determine whether you need to respond to which particular stories. So if you don't have a digital or social element in your crisis communications plan, you really don't have a complete plan. To summarize, crisis communication planning is critical for all businesses and organizations, and 3 of the key elements that you need to have a successful crisis plan include defining all roles and responsibilities, keeping the plan updated throughout the years, and also incorporating digital and social media so the plan is modernized and ready for today's world. Hello, this is